crack of a bat, the roar of the crowd, the thrill of a diving catch, all reminders of why fans keep coming back season after season. But what happens when that passion spirals into chaos? From Austin Capobianco and his accomplice, who tugged on a player's glove and yanked the ball to the fan, who ran into the eld with a superhero underwear during a game. These are the fans who went too far, the ones whose actions have etched their names not on scoreboards or record books, but on the infamous list of those forever barred from baseball's sacred arenas. Let's begin with the story of Austin Capobianco and John Peter. During Game 4 of the 2024 World Series between the New York Yankees and the Los Angeles Dodgers, two Yankees fans, Austin Capobianco and John Peter, interfered with a play involving Dodgers outelder Mookie Betts. Capobianco, a Yankees season ticket holder, revealed to ESPN that he and his friend Peter had frequently discussed how they would handle a situation like that. Reacting on their conversations, he explained that they often joked about a ball landing in their area, emphasizing that they wouldn't go out of their way to intervene. Instead, he said, their plan was simple. If the ball came their way, they would D up, with one person defending and the other knocking the ball away. He added that this strategy was something they had repeatedly talked about and were prepared to execute. In the RST inning, Betts attempted to catch a foul ball near the right eld wall. Capobianco and Peter, both season ticket holders, reached over and made physical contact with Betts. Capobianco tugged on Betts's glove, while Peter grabbed his wrist, causing the ball to come loose. Despite this, the umpires ruled the batter out due to fan interference. Following the incident, both fans were ejected from the stadium. Major League Baseball and the Yankees deemed their actions egregious and unacceptable physical contact and subsequently banned them from attending Game 5. The Yankees emphasized their zero-tolerance policy toward behavior that compromises the safety and security of players, fans, and STR. In a positive turn, the Yankees reassigned the revoked tickets to Calvin Young, a 15-year-old pediatric cancer patient, allowing him and his family to attend Game 5. In the aftermath of the incident, there was a wave of public reactions. One fan on X remarked that the two Yankee fans behaved as though they had done nothing wrong, pointing out that one held onto Mookie's glove while the other grabbed his hand and refused to let go. The fan added that social media would have erupted in outrage if such an incident had occurred in Philadelphia. It seems history repeated itself at another game at the Rogers Center, but this time the plot thickened involving the fan, Ken Pagan. In October 2016, during the American League wildcard game between the Toronto Blue Jays and the Baltimore Orioles at Rogers Center, Ken Pagan threw a beer can onto the eld. The can narrowly missed Orioles outelder Hyun-Soo Kim as he caught a Y ball in the 7th inning. Pagan, employed as a sports copy editor at Post Media at the time, was identified as the perpetrator and subsequently faced legal consequences. He pleaded guilty to a mischief charge and received a conditional discharge, meaning he wouldn't have a criminal record if he complied with his probation, which included 200 hours of community service and a 1-year probation period. Additionally, he was banned from all Major League Baseball (MLB) ballparks for 1 year and ordered to stay at least 500 meters away from Rogers Center. As a result of the incident and the ensuing public scrutiny, Pagan lost his job at Post Media. He later expressed remorse for his actions, acknowledging the embarrassment caused to the Toronto Blue Jays organization and its fans. Orioles outelder Adam Jones, who had advocated for Pagan to face charges the previous year, expressed his views on the punishment, stating he had hoped for a stricter penalty. He emphasized his belief in harsh punishments for such actions, acknowledging Pagan had lost his job and that 200 hours of community service was substantial. However, he questioned whether the ban, reportedly lasting a year, was sufficient. Jones also expressed his preference for monetary NES as a more impactful consequence, noting that financial penalties tend to resonate more with individuals. Ultimately, he stated his support for his teammate Kim, arming that if Kim had moved on, he would follow suit and let the matter go. The next fan committed a crime that many suspect was less a personal decision and more a case of buckling under the weight of crowd pressure. Fan who threw baseball at Alex Verdugo. In July 2021, during a game between the Boston Red Sox and the New York Yankees at Yankee Stadium, a fan threw a baseball from the stands that struck Red Sox left elder Alex Verdugo in the back. Verdugo had initially tossed the ball into the stands, intending it for a young Red Sox fan, but a Yankees fan intercepted it and threw it back onto the eld, hitting Verdugo. The incident occurred in the 6th inning, prompting Red Sox manager Alex Cora to pull his team o' the eld in protest. Verdugo was visibly upset but was was not injured. The fan responsible was identified and ejected from the stadium. Subsequently, both the New York Yankees and Major League Baseball imposed a lifetime ban on the individual, prohibiting attendance at all MLB ballparks. The Yankees issued a statement condemning the behavior, emphasizing that reckless and dangerous actions that jeopardize the safety of players, STA, or fans would not be tolerated at Yankee Stadium. A spectator who was near the incident involving the Yankee fan who threw the ball at Alex Verdugo provided their perspective, claiming the act was not intentional. According to this individual, Verdugo attempted to throw the ball to a Red Sox fan during the middle innings warm-up, but missed, and a Yankee fan caught it instead. The Yankee fan, excited to have caught the ball, hesitated to give it up until the surrounding crowd began chanting, "Throw it back," repeatedly. Feeling pressured by the crowd, the fan ultimately threw the ball, which accidentally struck Verdugo. The eyewitness described the fan as visibly torn about the decision and stated that the act was not malicious. They believed the fan felt horrible about the incident, citing the fan's look of fear and sorrow afterward. The witness emphasized that they did not condone acts of violence or attempts to harm anyone, but felt the fan was not being fairly portrayed in the aftermath. They wanted to share their RST-hand account of the incident, as opposed to interpretations based solely on videos from a distance. While the previous case involved crowd pressure, this next individual seemed to treat the situation like a game of catch, striking a player in the process. Fan who threw a water bottle at Jimmy Haslam. During the closing moments of the Cleveland Browns' 31-30 loss to the New York Jets on September 18, 2022, a fan, identified as 51-year-old Jerry Miller from Rocky River, Ohio, allegedly threw a plastic water bottle that struck Browns owner Jimmy Haslam as he was walking toward an end zone tunnel at First Energy Stadium. Stadium surveillance cameras captured Miller throwing the bottle, and security personnel tracked him through the venue. When OSAs attempted to detain him, Miller initially did not comply. Upon apprehension, he reportedly appeared intoxicated and claimed the bottle never hit the eld. He was arrested and charged with assault, disorderly conduct, and failure to comply. In response to the incident, the Cleveland Browns announced plans to ban Miller from First Energy Stadium. The organization emphasized that the safety of fans, players, and STA is a top priority, and that behavior endangering others will not be tolerated. Fortunately, no injuries were reported from the incident. The Browns have cooperated with law enforcement, providing security footage to assist in the investigation. Many fans expressed their frustration over the team's performance, which led to a last-minute loss, and some criticized Haslam's management decisions. A fan shared their thoughts, saying that when an owner cares more about making money than helping the team succeed, they might just sit back and collect prots while the team keeps losing. They added that the Browns' long history of poor performance could be blamed on decisions made by the team's owner. If the next fan had used even half a brain cell to think things through, he might have dodged his MLB ban and still been welcome in the nosebleed seats. Fan who used racial slurs at Adam Jones. The event that led to the ban of a fan who used racial slurs at Adam Jones occurred on May 1, 2017, during a baseball game at Fenway Park between the Baltimore Orioles and the Boston Red Sox. Adam Jones, an outelder for the Orioles, reported being subjected to racist taunts, including the N-word, by a fan in the stands. The Inside Jones revealed after the game that he had been called racial slurs multiple times and had a bag of peanuts thrown at him. He expressed frustration and anger over the incident, noting that such behavior should not be tolerated. The situation prompted immediate responses from the Red Sox organization, and Major League Baseball, MLB.NT, drew widespread condemnation and brought attention to the persistence of racism in professional sports. Jones stated that he had experienced racist heckling at Boston's ballpark in the past, but described this incident as one of the worst cases of fan abuse he had encountered in his 12-year career. He called the behavior pathetic and labeled the perpetrators as cowards, adding that instead of merely ejecting such individuals from the stadium, they should be ned substantial amounts, $10,000, $20,000, or $30,000, to impose a penalty that truly impacts them. The Red Sox president, Sam Kennedy, has apologized after Boston fans taunted Orioles center elder Adam Jones with racial slurs. Kennedy also apologized for a fan throwing peanuts at Jones on Monday night. He says the organization is sickened by the conduct of an ignorant few. The Red Sox publicly apologized to Jones and issued a strong statement condemning the fans' behavior. They also took swift action by banning the individual responsible from Fenway Park for life. This next fan, after knocking back enough drinks to think they could join the Avengers, decided it was their moment to shine as the superhero no one asked for. Fan who ran into the field with Batman pants. In April 2012, during the Baltimore Orioles opening day game at Camden Yards, 26-year-old Mark Harvey took his enthusiasm for the event and perhaps his admiration for the caped crusader to an unexpected level. Dressed in Batman-themed underwear, a cape, and a cap, Harvey dashed onto the eld, skillfully evading security personnel. The fans' antics brought the game to an immediate halt as security scrambled to intercept him. Players and umpires looked on with bemused expressions, while the crowd awed a mix of cheers, laughs, and groans. Harvey evaded initial security attempts with some surprising agility, zigzagging across the eld like a chaotic superhero parody. However, the stunt quickly wore thin as the fans' actions delayed the game significantly. Security eventually tackled him near second base and escorted him over the eld to the applause and jeers of spectators. It was later revealed that the fan had been consuming alcohol prior to the game, which may have contributed to his poor decision-making. Harvey's actions were part of his self-proclaimed mission to raise anti-bullying awareness. Despite his intentions, the Orioles organization viewed his stunt as a serious security breach. Consequently, Harvey was banned from Camden Yards for life. Later that year, in December 2012, Harvey faced legal repercussions for similar incidents, including one at a Baltimore Ravens game. He pleaded guilty to 2 counts of trespassing and was sentenced to 4 days in prison. Additionally, he received a lifetime ban from both Oriole Park at Camden Yards and M&T Bank Stadium. Some fans take game interference to a new level, like the one who thought shining a laser into a player's eyes was part of the strategy. Fan shines laser pointer in Max Muncy's eyes. On August 13, 2021, during a game between the Los Angeles Dodgers and the New York Mets at Citi Field in New York, an incident occurred involving Dodgers RST baseman Max Muncy. In the 9th inning, with 2 outs and a critical at-bat, Muncy stepped out of the batter's box, pointing toward the stands. A green laser beam was visible on his face, originating from the third base side of the stands. This prompted the umpires to pause the game momentarily. After the brief delay, play resumed, and Muncy struck out to end the inning. The Dodgers eventually won the game 6-5 in extra innings. Following the incident, both Dodgers manager Dave Roberts and Mets manager Luis Rojas condemned the fans' actions. Roberts described the behavior as dirty, emphasizing that such interference is unacceptable. Rojas echoed these sentiments, stating that players' safety is a priority and expressing disappointment over the incident. The Mets organization responded by banning the fan responsible for the laser pointer incident from attending future games at Citi Field. This action underscores the seriousness with which the team addresses fan interference and the importance of maintaining a safe and fair environment for players. Laser pointers are prohibited in many sports venues due to their potential to distract and endanger players. The use of such devices during games is considered a serious offense and can lead to significant consequences for the individuals involved. Everyone has their own way of expressing anger, but these fans cranked it up to a level that made regular tantrums look like polite golf claps. Fans threw debris at Guardians players during a game in the Bronx. On April 23, 2022, during a game between the New York Yankees and the Cleveland Guardians at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, fans threw bottles, cans, and other debris at Guardians outfielders following the Yankees' walk-off victory. The altercation began in the 9th inning when Guardians left elder Stephen Kwan attempted to catch a deep Y ball of the bat of Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. Kwan collided with the left eld wall, sustaining injuries that required attention from the Guardians' training staff. During this time, some fans in the left eld stands reportedly mocked Kwan's injury, which escalated tensions. In response, Guardians center elder Miles Straw climbed the left eld fence to confront the fans involved. This confrontation intensified the situation, leading to a chaotic scene. Shortly after, the Yankees secured a walkover win, and fans in the right eld bleachers began throwing objects onto the eld, targeting Guardians out-elders. Yankees players, including Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton, intervened by rushing toward the out-eld to urge fans to stop throwing debris. Manager Aaron Boone condemned the actions, stating that there was no place for throwing items onto the eld in such situations. In response to the incident, the Yankees increased security in the stands for the following game, and the fans were banned from Game 5 of the World Series. This next victim must have thought he was the main character in a sports drama, boldly betting on his own team. Jay Groom. Jay Groom, a left-handed pitcher in the San Diego Padres organization, received a 1-year suspension from Major League Baseball, MLB, in June 2024 for violating the league's sports betting policies. MLB's investigation revealed that between July 22, 2020 and July 24, 2021, Groom placed 32 bets related to MLB games. Of these, 24 involved wagers on the Boston Red Sox's Major League games, while Groom was assigned to their High A Affiliate in Greenville, San South Carolina. All 24 bets focused on the NAL outcomes of the games. In total, Groom wagered $453.74 on MLB games, only won 2 of them, and had a net loss of $433.544. His parlays should be in the Hall of Fame, right next to the home run ball that hit O of Canseco's head and the pants Steve Lyons dropped while standing on second base. Importantly, Groom did not participate in any of the games on which he placed bets, and there is no evidence to suggest that any game outcomes were compromised or manipulated. MLB's rules strictly prohibit players from betting on baseball games, with a 1-year suspension for betting on games not involving their own team, and a lifetime ban for betting on their own team. The same error code of betting led to the downfall of William D. Cox. William D. Cox, a businessman and sports executive, became the owner of Major League Baseball's Philadelphia Phillies in 1943. At 33, he was the youngest owner in the league and sought to revitalize the struggling franchise by increasing payroll and investing in player development. Cox was, to be charitable, a hands-on owner. He played college baseball at Yale and thought of himself as someone who knew more about the game than the baseball people running the club, or even those he hired. To show just how arrogant he was, Cox thought nothing of dressing in uniform and taking batting practice with the club. He owed advice to individual players, often contradicting coaches. He even fought with umpires. Baseball lifer Bucky Harris was livid that an owner would actually go around him and undermine his relationship with his players, leading to dissension in the clubhouse. However, Cox's tenure was marred by controversy. In July 1943, he dismissed manager Bucky Harris, leading to player unrest. Shortly thereafter, Harris revealed that Cox had been betting on his own team. Commissioner Kennesaw Mountain Landis launched an investigation, during which Cox initially denied, but later admitted to placing sentimental bets on the Phillies, claiming ignorance of the prohibition against such actions. On November 23, 1943, Landis suspended Cox indefinitely. Following a hearing on December 4th, where further evidence was presented, Landis imposed a lifetime ban on Cox, making him the RST non-player to receive such a penalty from the commissioner. This next victim proudly hoisted 2 trophies, one for victory and one for shame. Because why settle for just being famous when you can be infamous too? Roberto Alomar. Alomar was elected to the Hall of Fame in 2011, receiving 90% of the vote 3 years before the incident that prompted his ban from MLB. In April 2021, Major League Baseball (MLB) placed Hall of Fame second baseman Roberto Alomar on its ineligible list following an investigation into a misconduct allegation from 2014. A baseball industry employee reported the incident earlier that year, prompting MLB to hire an external legal RM for an independent investigation. Upon reviewing the endings, Commissioner Rob Manfred concluded that Alomar had violated MLB's policies, leading to his placement on the ineligible list and the termination of his consultant contract. In response, the Toronto Blue Jays severed all ties with Alomar, removing him from their level of excellence and taking down his banner at Rogers Center. Despite these actions, Alomar's plaque remains on display in the Baseball Hall of Fame, as his enshrinement re-acts his status at the time of induction. Alomar expressed disappointment and surprise at MLB's decision, stating his hope to address the allegation directly in an appropriate venue. As a result of these developments, Alomar became the only player in history to be both a member of the Baseball Hall of Fame and on MLB's permanently ineligible list simultaneously. It's one thing to be blissfully ignorant, it's another to have all the knowledge and still dive headfirst into the deep end of foolishness. That's exactly what this next victim did. Tucupita Marcano. Tucupita Marcano, a 24-year-old inelder for the San Diego Padres, was permanently banned from Major League Baseball (MLB) on June 4, 2024, for violating the league's strict gambling policies. MLB Rule 21, posted in every clubhouse, states betting on any baseball game in which a player, umpire, league official, or team employee has no duty to perform results in a 1-year suspension. Betting on a game in which the person has a duty to perform results in a lifetime ban. Marcano bet almost exclusively on the outcomes of games and lost all of his parlay bets involving the Pirates, winning just 4.3% of all of his MLB-related bets, according to the league. MLB's investigation revealed that Marcano placed 387 baseball-related bets, totaling over $150,000 between October 2022 and November 2023. This included 231 wagers on MLB games, with 25 specifically involving his own team, the Pittsburgh Pirates, during a period when he was on the injured injured list, recovering from a torn ACL. Although Marcano did not participate in the games he bet on and denied possessing any insider information, his actions breached MLB's Rule 21. This rule prohibits players from betting on baseball games, especially those involving their own teams, regardless of their direct involvement in the games. The league emphasized that such strict enforcement is crucial to maintaining the integrity of the sport. In addition to Marcano's lifetime ban, MLB suspended 4 other players for 1 year each due to gambling-related violations. These players are Oakland Athletics pitcher Michael Kelly and minor leaguers Jay Groom, Andrew Salfrank, and Jose Rodriguez. None of these players bet on games in which they participated, and there was no evidence suggesting that any game outcomes were compromised. His ban really hurt the sport, as you just can't tell the story of baseball without acknowledging star Tucupita Marcano and the generational inuence he had. In the 2023 season, while playing 75 games for the Pirates, he recorded a batting average of 233, an on-base percentage of 276, and a slugging percentage of 356. He hit 3 home runs, drove in 18 RBIs, and totaled 47 hits. Marcano became the second North American athlete banned for gambling in recent months. This next victim played a game that was out of context and against the rules of the club. Heine Zimmerman. Heine Zimmerman, a prominent Major League Baseball player in the early 20th century, was banned from the sport due to his involvement in game Xing activities. Zimmerman, who played as a third baseman and second baseman for the Chicago Cubs and later the New York Giants, had a notable career, including winning the National League Triple Crown in 1912. However, his career was marred by persistent allegations of unethical behavior. During the 1917 World Series, Zimmerman was involved in a notorious play where he chased Eddie Collins of the Chicago White Sox across an unguarded home plate, leading to a crucial run for the White Sox. This incident raised suspicions about his integrity, although no definitive proof of wrongdoing in that series was established. In 1919, Zimmerman, along with teammate Hal Chase, was implicated in eorts to X games. Both players were accused of attempting to bribe other players to throw games during the season. As a result, Giants manager John McGraw benched Zimmerman and eventually sent him home before the season concluded. Although there was no formal announcement at the time, Zimmerman was actively blacklisted from Major League Baseball following these events. The culmination of these incidents led to Zimmerman's permanent ineligibility from professional baseball. While the exact date of his formal ban is not clearly documented, it is widely accepted that Commissioner Kennesaw Mountain Landis's declaration after the Black Sox trial, stating that no one who bet on baseball would ever be allowed to play, served to formalize Zimmerman's ban. The next victim was banned for deliberately sabotaging his team's chances of winning the World Cup. Eddie Cicotte. Eddie Cicotte, a prominent pitcher for the Chicago White Sox, was permanently banned from Major League Baseball due to his involvement in the 1919 Black Sox scandal. This scandal revolved around a conspiracy where 8 White Sox players colluded with gamblers to deliberately lose the World Series against the Cincinnati Reds. In 1919, Cicotte was among the American League's top pitchers, achieving 29 wins that season. His contract included a $10,000 bonus if he secured 30 victories. However, it's alleged that team owner Charles Comiskey ordered manager Kid Gleason to bench Cicotte for several games as he approached this milestone, actively preventing him from earning the bonus. This perceived injustice, coupled with a general dissatisfaction with Comiskey's frugality, made Cicotte more susceptible to overtures from gamblers proposing to X the World Series. First baseman Arnold "Chick" Gandil orchestrated the scheme, enlisting teammates, including Cicotte, to participate. Cicotte's involvement was pivotal. He was to signal the initiation of the X by hitting the RST batter in Game 1. True to plan, Cicotte struck Cincinnati's leadoff hitter Maury Rath with his second pitch, indicating the conspiracy was underway. Throughout the series, Cicotte's performance was uncharacteristically poor, losing 2 games and winning 1, raising suspicions about the integrity of play. In 1920, a grand jury was convened to investigate the allegations of a Exed World Series. Cicotte was the RST to confess, admitting his role in the scandal. Despite his confession and subsequent acquittal in a court of law, newly appointed baseball Commissioner Kennesaw Mountain Landis took decisive action to preserve the sport's integrity. On August 3, 1921, Landis banned all 8 implicated players, including Cicotte, from professional baseball for life. This next victim was banned for playing a central role in the 1919 Black Sox scandal. Chick Gandil. Chick Gandil, the RST baseman for the Chicago White Sox, was banned from Major League Baseball for his central role in the 1919 Black Sox scandal. Discontent with low salaries and owner Charles Comiskey's frugality, Gandil orchestrated a conspiracy to X the World Series against the Cincinnati Reds. He collaborated with gamblers, notably Joseph "Sport" Sullivan, to arrange payments totaling $100,000 to players willing to participate in the scheme. Gandil recruited teammates, including pitchers Eddie Cicotte and Claude "Lefty" Williams, shortstop Charles "Swede" Risberg, and outelder Oscar "Happy" Felsch to deliberately lose games in exchange for bribes. Although the White Sox lost the series, suspicions arose, leading to a grand jury investigation in 1920. Gandil and 7 teammates were indicted and stood trial in 1921. Despite their acquittal in court, newly appointed baseball commissioner Kennesaw Mountain Landis imposed a lifetime ban on all 8 players to preserve the sport's integrity. In a 1956 Sports Illustrated article, Gandil admitted to leading the plot, but claimed the players ultimately tried their best to win, abandoning the X due to increased scrutiny. He expressed remorse, stating they deserve to be banned for merely engaging with gamblers. If you enjoyed watching this video, then go ahead and click on any of the cards on your screen for more.